BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Bet on.
Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that?
Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being on the live Easter holiday time, man. Fam, listen, we appreciate you. Happy holidays to all the fantastic family members out there. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Easter weekend. For the family members traveling on the road, I hope you guys remain vigilant and stay safe. Much love to you guys, and hope you enjoy your time with your families. Very important time also in faith for many people. So shout out and I salute each and one of y'all on this holiday Saturday. So listen, fam, on this one here, there's a poll question before we get going on. I'm going to get into it. But shout out to everybody to Who Dat Nation, man. We in this thing. We're going to talk some draft talk. Later on, we're going to bring in my the great Saint Think Tank, KT, the Super Scout. KT going to sprinkle some game on the Who Dats. You know, you guys, the draft is coming up, and KT will kind of drop some game on some of these guys, man, you might not be familiar with, or some might give you some game on some of these guys coming up for the Saints draft as well, in period, so you can be up on the draft talk. Also, to be honest with you, fam, a lot of quarterbacks. We see a lot of quarterbacks. You guys see it. Who would the Saints take? We're going to go over that. Some news, notes, and items as well on this episode of the Coma. So do me a service. Feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show. Remember, sharing is caring on this holiday season. Please feel free to share, man. Sub up, share, and hit the notification bell. We up in this thing. A few shout outs, salute to all you guys, but shout out to Deborah, Serenity, Sanaya, all my beautiful girls watching. Shout out to you. Appreciate y'all chiming in, baby. So big ups to all of you guys, and big ups to the rest of the fam. Cartel, Derek, Pelicans, Nola, M. Dot, I Am Aviation, Byron, V. Griffin, Mr. Bonds is in this thing. Elite is in this thing. Big ups to all y'all, man. Gundam, shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you, brother Jason. I see you, man. Rush Hour. What's happening, Rush Hour? Big ups to you, man. How you been, brother? What's up, Bev? Shout out to Bev as well. Molly Mall in this thing as well. Yeah, baby. He says, Big Q, what it do, you bro? Yeah, I see, bro. Big ups to you, man. I know you on that road, brother. Good to see you, man. I ain't see you in a while. Hope everything going all right with you. OG to the third degree. Shout out to you, brother. What's up, Antoinette, baby? 504 Core. How you doing, sir? Mr. Jack, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you. What's up, JoJo? All right, no mill roll. He can't throw. He rhyming on it. All right, shout out to you, Michael. Thank you, man. Would you move up to 6 for Shador with the Raiders? This is a great question, bro. A lot of people, and you know, we'll pivot and start off with this article right here, man. I want to get right into the meat and potatoes of today's broadcast with the draft talk. But man, listen, a lot of people are watching Spencer Rattler. I have no problems with Spencer. I think Spencer's going to be a fantastic quarterback. But like I said, we need to give him somebody to compete with. You know, iron sharpens iron, baby. You know that we're not afraid of competition. In the mighty Who Dat Nation, we're not afraid of competition at all. Thank you, son. All right, so, and this is the thing, man, that we have to do. What's up, Tamika? Shout out to Tamika. Dr. Key, Brother Gregory, Hemisphere. Shout out to you, Hemisphere. Good to see you, fam, as well. Big ups to you. And like I said, fam, yeah, Michael says, would you move up to 6 to get Shador? Now, fam, listen, I'm just going to keep it all the way funky with you. I think I have Shador ranked high on my board. I don't believe in it. It's stuff these people saying because all of this just started in the last 2 months, maybe 2.5 months since all this. And I'm hearing, and they starting to see it too. I'm like, man, you see, even Stephen A. Smith mentioned it. Shannon Sharp mentioned it. I think Ryan Clark mentioned it. And several other commentators mentioned the fall that Shador is happening. It cannot be explained by anything that he has done wrong, which means it's a mud show. It's dust being thrown to demolish or shrink his draft stock. There is nothing to this. Like I said, it was always Shador right ahead. I have Shador ranked just above Cam Ward. Cam gained ground on him, but it's basically 1A and 1B in terms of what I see. Shador has been ahead of him this entire college season, and that just flip-flop over the last couple of months. And like I said, all of a sudden, even Mel Kiper has Shador as his number one guy. He didn't bend on it too. So I'm like, man, I ain't bending my board. You ain't showing me nothing. I'm not caught up in all the smoke screen stuff because I think that's what this is. But what does the Cleveland Browns do? Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. What is this, water? Thank you, sir. Yeah. Bring me a towel, son. You just kind of, yeah. All right. Sorry about that. That was my son. He brought me some juice, but he kind of sloppy with the juice. He's kind of running all down the cup and everything. I appreciate him helping, though. You know, kids. But anyway, listen, fam, all I can say, fam, is like if Shador is, you know, I mean, thank you, son. I think Shador is at a position, man, where if I got to go and get him, I'm going to go get him, fam. Let me just be honest with you. A lot of people saying, Q, what's up? What's going on with this whole thing with Shador? I just think at the end of the day, y'all have to pardon me. I'm sorry. Oh, goodness. Let me get this. All right. But anyway, at the end of the day, I just think that the whole situation is ridiculous in terms of that. But I do think that we should take a quarterback. And if you want to take one in the first round, you couldn't miss out with Shador. I think he's a top 10 pick. I think you bring him here. You're going to have a guy that you're going to love. He's a leader. He can make the throws. He's poised. And listen, a thing that are really good about Shador, he's intelligent. He has a high IQ in that processes things. Sometimes he tend to kind of look a little harder for things to develop, but that could be worked out of him. I mean, the kid got the pedigree. He's tough as nails. Like I said, I just love Shador Sanders and what he can do for the Saints, and he would be a good thing. And I would absolutely love for Shador and Spencer to compete for the job in the first year. I would love that. To me, that would be like terrific battle between Shador Sanders and Spencer Rattler battling for that starting quarterback position, because I know Spencer gonna give him a run for his money. Iron sharpen iron. You got one good one with Spencer, you can have another. You never can have too many really good quarterbacks. I'm for that, man. So if I got to move up to get him, Michael, I'm going to move up to get him. But the thing is, what does the Browns do? What does the Giants do? What does the Jets do? These are hungry. These are teams that are lacking a future franchise quarterback. Maybe they could wait the next year, but you got to remember, a lot of these guys that they have currently on some of these bad teams are under fire. They're under fire, and really, some of these guys should have been fired last year. The dude, the bowl up there in the Giants, he should have been fired, and that guy in Cleveland should have been fired last year. I was surprised when both of them wasn't given their pink slips. I was surprised by that. So they're coaching under fire and on the hot seat. So a lot of their movements will kind of be on that level, that not desperation, but really, I better do it right this time. So, I mean, we'll see what it goes on. This is a franchise quarterback. If he slides down to 9 where we don't have to go and get him, I'm for it. But at the end of the day, man, if I got to go up to get him, I'm going to get him, baby, off top. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much for picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. All right. So, anyway, big ups to the fam, too, man. Much love to y'all as well. And like I said, this is nothing new. What's up, Scoob? Shout out to my brother, Scoob, man. All right, 504 says Q Mickey. Q Mickey. Mickey Q Mickey. Can't be that dumb to pass up on Shador, right? Hey, it's not him making the call. That's going to be Kellen Moore. One thing I can't say bad about Mickey Loomis is that he doesn't get in the way of people he hires, right? He has a habit of doing too less and not too much more. When he makes these decisions and all this kind of other stuff, that's when we get on him. But when he hires somebody and he sets back, he lets them do what they do. And he'll become the golden gopher that he's really good at. He's really good at being a golden gopher. He'll go out and make the groceries for you. He'll go and get this. He'll do all that. He's a fantastic gopher. That's what Mickey Loomis does the best. He'll go get people, whoever you want. He'll tear up the cap. Whatever you want him to do, he'll go and get it. He doesn't think about how he's going to impact the team. He don't care. Whatever you want, he's going to go out and get it. So that's one good thing I can say about Mickey Loomis. So I don't think he stands in Kellen Moore's way of what he wants to do. Matter of fact, some believe, and some rumored reports saying that was the arrangement made for Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore. Because like we played yesterday, you guys heard with, what's her name? What's the lady name? Deanna Rossini, what she said about Kellen Moore's hesitation to take the Saints job because of the QB situation. That was a report that came out. Let us not forget that. That did not go away. So, maybe Derek Carr was a little raw in terms of what he had. He had that, and it's what it is. But like I said, man, we'll all see how it all works, and I'm just really kind of looking at that thing and seeing where it goes. But yeah, it could be a very interesting thing indeed. So big ups to you, man. Appreciate you guys being in the stream as well. We're going to get going. Let me go through some of these, and then we're going to pivot to the draft talk. I'm going to bring in KT after we finish up on some of the stories, and we're going to go from that. So we're going to start off with this one. Shout out to Fansided, covering the Saints content. Saints drafting a QB first round may be off the table due to Spencer Rattler. Really, he could bail out the Saints from gambling on the quarterback in the first round. New Orleans Saints seem keen on Spencer. Rattler just finished his first season, has a lot of work to do. Matt Miller of ESPN pointed out that this is the same front office that drafted Rattler. While first-year coach Kellen Moore might be interested in drafting his own quarterback, they might not jump the gun in the first round, which makes sense. Rattler was kind of thrown to the wolves in his rookie season. More like a baptism by fire, if you know what I mean. It wasn't really even thrown to the wolves. All right, yeah. So this is the thing. Right? Each person, no matter who it is, from the last 2 years have drafted. We had we're gonna have 3 quarterbacks drafted this year, right? We know that Hayner under Pete DeRat Carmichael, Clint Kubiak, he had Spencer, and Nussmeier is going to have his guy. It's just a trend that we know because what's consistent is that these guys want their own guy. They want their own guy. So if they fail, it's because of their own decision makings and not based on somebody else's, right? That's what you will want. So we have to afford them that opportunity, just like we did the two previous administrators or the operators, the coordinators. But this what Matt Miller said about it. He said the Saints have clear deficiencies all over the rosters, which is bloated with bad contracts. Reaching for a passer at 9 won't change their outlook. This is the same front office that drafted Spencer Rattler in the 5th round last year, and a source told me they're still like his ability and upside a lot. New coach Kellen Moore could change that dynamic, but this isn't a team that's a quarterback away from a team building standpoint. Now listen, that's all I'm gonna do. And shout out to the writer that brought this article, but the Saints, fam, we know this is our squad. We done dissected this team. It's not the Saints. And listen, fam, all this stuff to do. The Saints won 5. Let's be real. The Saints won 5 games last year. They lost 12. They lost 12 games last year. Now I don't know what your thought process on how many games the Saints win in 2025, 26. I don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, this is not a burnt out crater team. And I mean, crater, asteroid come down there and smack the hell out of you and it's a crater left and it's just demolished. That's not the Saints. Saints are not a burnt out, smashed out crater team. The Saints are 5-12 because of the inept leadership. They didn't have a credible coach who was disciplined, who was accountable, who backstabbed his own team. They didn't have a administrator that would check such a man. That guy let him basically destroy the team and then still apologizes for him this day and says that he's a great coach, in which he's not. The issue is that was the problem with the Saints. Cam Jordan stood up here running interference and talking, injuries was the reason, but never tells you the truth that they had bad coaching and no accountability at the top. They always point to something that can't fight back because that's a corporate line that they run to absolve blame off of themselves. Perhaps you should have hit that weight room some more. Perhaps you could have been a better leader on defense to make guys get up off their ass and fight in the locker room and uphold the standard of winning and accountability. Perhaps that would be a better usage of your time as opposed to standing up here spinning excuses about injuries, which you're not supposed to do. You're never supposed to use injuries as an excuse for anything. No excuses. That's what they say, ain't it? So at the same time, that is the real deal, fam. That is the absolute real deal. The Saints are not a burnt out, craterless team. They lost these games because the coach lost the team. That's the truth. They didn't trust Dennis Allen, and that happened a year before. And then Then Mickey Loomis does no evaluations. He lets that guy come into the next year, and the family members and the supporters forced Gail to fire that guy against his wishes, and he was raw in the ass about that. That we had the power to remove the guy that he coached, and he hated that. We took him away. That's right. We sent them packing up out of here to Chicago. And we're going to keep a firm look on you, and we're going to keep the pressure on you, Loomis. You're not too far behind either. So like I said, David Griffin's the same way. It's the thing. You have the power over these people. I keep saying that. Why? Because they want your money. So if you want this dollar, you're going to move heaven and earth to get it, baby. Bottom line, we're not giving you no more quarter. You had all the time and all the resources, all the money. It's time to win with no excuses. So all these old ass players that sit up here having faith and not showing no works, we want you up out of here. It's time for a new day in New Orleans. And we need leaders with no excuse mantras to get this done. That's that real deal Holyfield right there. Tired of this losing. But this is not a burnt out team. This is not a bad team at all. Not at all, family. Not at all. So yes, Spencer Rattler is a good option, but still in all, I'm taking the quarterback because I want iron to sharpen iron. Let Spencer challenge them. You think Spencer running from anybody like Derek Carr is? Let Derek Carr run and be a non-professional. Let him run around and be a non-professional and be mad about contracts, or the fact that he was mad that they Saints restructured his contract even though he said that they could do it. Checking the chat. Remember that? He said it. I won't take a pay cut. I'll accept a restructuring. I remember I covered that on here, and then they restructured. He mad. He got his ass. He raw in the ass now. He mad, even though he says it, which means he a liar. Derek Carr backtracked from his previous stance on restructuring Saints contract. We covered it here. Just like we talked about, like, don't let, they'll throw a lot at you, but the real deal is about Derek Carr is the fact that now saying that Derek Carr didn't totally heal from an injury that he had last year, dealing with the shoulder, whatever have you. Then how it was a physical Derek Carr was supposed to pass to get to the next layer of his contract. The Saints had an out where he had to pass a physical. And if he didn't pass that physical, then they could have gotten from up under Derek Carr's contract. There was a physical in there between that last bit and coming into this season. How did he pass the physical? Let me ask you that. How he passed the physical if he was hurt, and he been had it. According to reports now, they're saying it was the same shoulder issue that he had that didn't fully heal. Now, if it's still a little sore, that's different from you saying that you possibly could need surgery that could cost you the start of the season, possibly the season. You see what I'm saying? That was reported. All you have to do is put it in the search engine. He had to pass a physical. How did he pass the physical and get to the money if he was still hurt to the point where he needed surgery? Just asking. I'm just asking for a friend who's a reverend, who also likes the Saints. But Derek Carr backtracked from his previous stance on restructuring the Saints contract. The cat is out of the bag and has been out of the bag for a while. Shout out Saints Wire. Derek Carr does not want to be in New Orleans any longer. Well, with no surprise, with the possum gone, of course he's going to want to run with him. Let him go to Chicago and get him fired up there. The latest word from the 33rd team, Ari Miroff, is Carr wished New Orleans Saints didn't restructure his contract. While this report shouldn't come as a surprise based on what he transpired this offseason, what has transpired, it's a direct contradiction of what he said at the beginning of the season back in January. Carr notably told ESPN's Cat Terrell, shout out to Cat, he wouldn't take a pay cut and afterwards left the door open for a restructure. We covered that here. One could even say he welcomed it. Would I restructure? Carr replied, absolutely. I'll always help the team that way. He even described talks around his future as super positive. So what happened? Fast forward to April and there's a different tune being sung behind closed doors. Miroff says people around the NFL believes Derek Carr has been trying to get out of New Orleans and the Saints restructuring his contract was something he wished they did not do, but they did it. Carr's contract was restructured in March. Either things drastically changed over the course of 2 months or he flat out lied in January, which is what he does. We caught him lying on the show. I told y'all that when he talked about the answers being in the building and all that. Now his character's coming to bear. Where are all your car lovers at when you need them? Where the car lovers at? The car lovers are sure quiet around this time. Y'all see this guy? What he doing? And they'll pivot to, well, Q, the Saints been mean to him. That's why he got to go. I thought these are adults around here. These ain't kindergartners. This man's making $150 million. He ain't supposed to have this thin of a skin. Where he says, while those talks actually are positive, or did Terrell and the Saints ownership, hold on, let me say that there. Were those talks actually positive, or did you tell Terrell and Saints ownership what they wanted to hear? Was Carr ever actually open to a restructure? Maybe he was. He thought Darren Rizzi was going to remain as his head coach, and he knew the writing was on the wall once Kellen Moore was hired. An established relationship with Rizzi could have resulted in Carr having more confidence in the starting position. Carr's behavior hasn't earned him the benefit of a doubt, and Miroff reports cast the quarterback once again in an unfavorable light. At some point, you have to turn your attention to the Saints. They share part of the blame in this outcome. Thank you, sir. And Saints is Mickey Loomis. The Saints could have gotten under the salary cap without restructuring his contract, and they should have. If Carr kept his desires to himself, then they were deceived by Carr's hidden wishes. Now, we did hear reports. The situation is only getting uglier with every new angle being reported. The marriage appears to be done between Carr and the Saints, even if he doesn't get season-ending surgery. And he doesn't appear to be in any rush to go and get it. The writing is on the wall if you take a look at it, and that's the truth. Derek Carr did not, and that's the thing, fam. It's a sad situation, and we should have, when it just goes to show you that he can't operate without protection. Remember I told y'all about the Dennis Allen thing, protecting him, sliding Spencer Rattler to the third-string quarterback, putting Haener up at the second-string quarterback, and Haener's so thirsty and stupid and dirty that he allowed it to happen without telling the truth. He could have never been used in that way if he was honest and said, hey, hold on, man. Spencer Rattler beat me in this competition. He deserves the second-string job. But see what Haener did? He was absolutely cool with it, and he got out there and got exposed thoroughly to the point where you're looking at him like, man, this dude going to be off the team soon. He ain't developed. A lot of people look at him as undeveloped and a mess. And he'll forever go down as taking those weird-ass pictures. That'll be his that'll be his monument moment in the black and gold, just like Derek Carr. Tongue kissing the turf monster is his last move here. What a disaster this is. But the light is shining forth, man, in the draft as we get ready to move forward, and maybe we can pivot and put some of this wretchedness behind us. Let's take a look. Shout out to the Canal Street Chronicles. Tina, shout out to Tina. She did a 2025 Saints pre-draft meeting tracker. This is one to keep alert of all of the visits the Saints have had up to this point. You get 30 of those visits. And this is some of the players that the Saints have currently talked to. We know about the big cornerback from East Carolina, Siobhan Revel Jr., who is one of the top 5 cornerbacks in this draft. He's real good. And there are others. Offensive tackle Caleb Etienne at the local day. Saints went there with other teams and took a look at him. And some of these guys we'll talk about as well. Ursayer is another player, the big guy here from Minnesota. That's right. Nick Underhill also reported the fact that the edge rusher Williams and Arian Smith from Georgia was players that the Saints looked at. And then there were others. Defensive tackle Shamar Turner, he's pretty good. Watch tape on him. Mason Taylor from LSU was another one. Jake Majors, who's seen as one of the top centers in this draft, had a meeting with the Saints. You see they're kind of looking at different things. Mason Graham, one of the top interior defensive tackles. The fantastic safety here and like I said, the Saints could do a number of things, man, to be honest with you, in movement in the draft. But I think if you have a franchise quarterback, Thomas Fadon's another really good one from Nebraska. He's one of the type. We don't often talk about Fadon, but he has potential. And then quarterbacks like Jalen Milroe. The Saints pretty much met with a lot of these quarterbacks, like some of the top quarterbacks, Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers, Kyle McCord, who else did, Tyler Shue, they talked, he was another guy they missed with. So that's a lot of really, all of the top quarterbacks, Shador, they met with Cam Ward, they were all of the top guys. So at some point, the Saints are going to look to improve the team. And the crazy part about it is, even at this juncture, the Saints have enough talent where they can compete. If we can put playmakers at the positions of need, like if we get a really good quarterback and insulate him with a good offensive line, all you have to do is if you can get Shador Sanders, let him compete with Spencer Rattler, whoever wins the job, and it's going to be a very fun camp. You do that. And then you build your offensive line at alignment of two, build up the depth of the offensive line, get a running back in there to help. Then you have Elvin, you have Taysom still here. You have Juwan Johnson going to have to step up. You'll have Chris Olave. You'll have Rashid Shaheed. Those guys will be healthy. You have Brandon Cooks here. If you can get you a big wide receiver like Savion Williams, and, because a lot of people think he'll be a day 2 pick, that could be something that you look at doing that can improve the offense. And then defensively, you go from there. You're going to have to look at a linebacker down the line. Maybe this should have kind of help out there. Maybe another cornerback there, a safety further, because you have so many great players depending on how the Saints move. So, like I said, it'll be interesting to see the motion and the movements in terms of what the Saints need to do to kind of jostle for position. If Shador falls to the Saints, that's more the merrier, because they don't have to move heaven and earth to go and get him. But there's going to be teams that want Shador. It's already rumblings from teams positioned in the 20s that want to move up. There's interest in him. The Cowboys are rumored to be interested in him, even though they have Dak there. But who knows, man, what these people are thinking. They're not us. Who knows? And also, let's move on to this, man. This is another talk about that. And we talked about this as well, and this become official. We talked about this last year about poor Ryan Ramczyk, and he finally announced it. All the Saints right tackle Ryan Ramczyk announced his retirement the other day, and three-time All-Pro, missed all of the 2024 season with knee injury, and he was suffering with this knee injury several years leading up to him retiring. And Ramczyk, when he was when he was good without that injury, Ramczyk was phenomenal. The first three, I think he got hurt after. Yeah, he really started to get hurt after he signed the contract. Like, he got off his rookie contract, he signed the second contract, and I think the injury happened right after he signed the contract. He started battling these injuries, and it just took him down. But when Ramczyk, man, when they had him and they first drafted him on that rookie contract, he was fastly growing as one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He was nasty, respectable, but had a mean streak. He was intelligent, and Ram was damn near perfect. You know, he was phenomenal when he was healthy. So, you know, a lot of respect to Ryan Ramczyk. Made a lot of money in the league. He played with his heart, and then ultimately those lower extremity injuries started to mount, and the big guy had to call it a day. He tried to come back, but yeah, like I was advocating, I was telling him, I said, Ram, listen, bro, just go ahead on, bro. You made some money, man. You want to walk right for the rest of your life and remain a wealthy man, bro, you got to step away from the game and go live your life, brother. Go see about your health. You took care of your wealth. Now go see about your health and yourself. That's what you need to do. And he did that. So shout out to Ram, man. And thank you for all of the fantastic things that you brought to the city of New Orleans. Much love to Ram. Let me give Ram a round of applause, man. Shout out to Ram, man. Shout out to Ramczyk, man. Appreciate you. All right, big ups to the fam, man. We'll bring KT in. KT, I know you out there. You can hit the link when you're ready, brother. We'll bring you in here. But shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate you. Backwoods says got to take Sanders and Mickey get out of his way. I don't think. What's up, Sonya? Shout out to Sonya. I don't think Mickey gets in Kellen Moore's way. He hired Kellen Moore. He's gonna take his hand. He's gonna go open up in the door and close it. He's gonna go to his office and close the door. You know, that's what he like to do. Be off to himself. Rush Hour will say, I think Kellen Moore may draft his own QB. He will. We've seen this happen the last 2 years, 3 years. It won't stop. Gundam says Derek Carr is so emotionally fragile. Why is he terrified of competition? Because he can't. To see the thing, that's the weird thing. That's what Dennis Allen was moving heaven and earth to protect him. When Dennis Allen got fired, his main source of protection was no longer here. So he'll be thoroughly exposed to the Who Dat Nation. There will be nobody standing up for him. And Kellen Moore has no loyalty to Derek Carr. He has no loyalty to him. Why should he? And Carr knows when Kellen Moore was looking at the job that was the source of not the old team or whatever, but the quarterback. He knew that. He was like, okay, what about Derek Carr and Dennis and Mickey Loomis kind of, hey, hold on now, Kellen, listen, we'll try to work with Derek and listen, I'll let you take your own quarterback. You know, that's what was rumored to have happened. But this makes it all the better, because Derek Carr will be under intense scrutiny of the Who Dat Nation coming up in year 3. He would have been incredibly exposed to the nation with no protection mechanism, no coach line saying that he actually was right when throwing the pattern as opposed to wide receiver. Nobody taking up for him, and him exposed to a aggressive press that he himself is responsible for creating. He doesn't have the balls to stand up to nothing like that. You wasn't going to come down here to New Orleans and get money and then go back and talk about all this and third. And then, like I said, it's atmosphere, it's the optics of the situation. The optics is bad. The optics is bad. You have a contract to the Saints, whether you like the situation or not. You spending the money, so you stuck. Come, people don't care. They be mad and stuff, but I don't care. You getting paid to play. You sign with the Saints. You need to be here in these camps. You need to be rehabbing if you're hurt or whatever the case may be. You need to be in the town handling your damn business. That's a good example of being. Not this what he's doing, this non-professional crap where you're trying to poise out of it because you're running from the fact that we're going to heat you up out there. He know what it is. He doesn't want any competition. And I don't know who he think he is, but this is the NFL where competition is the name in the game. It's the name of the game. And he hadn't done enough. He hadn't done enough to be sitting like he's perfect. The money won't save you. It will only indict you. That's the crazy part about it. The money, you take the money and you feel like you earn the money, but yet you spending the money. I don't know how stupid Loomis did it. People say he robbing us, Q. I'm like, he not robbing us. How he robbing us when the dumbass VP general manager person got the vault wide open, standing there telling him, yeah, Derek, grab what you want. It's not my goddamn money. Now, hold on now, Derek. Derek, go ahead on and go in there. The vault's going to close in 5 minutes. You run up in there and grab all you can get here. Take this big bag right here. Hold on now. You go up in there and get what you want. No, he ain't robbing nobody. He ain't robbing nothing. They're giving it to him. Loomis is stuffing it in his pockets. He's not robbing anybody. You're not robbing anybody. It's just what it is. He's not robbing anybody. He really isn't. The thing is, like I said, he has to be a professional. And I don't know if Mickey Loomis trades him. I don't know who will want him. Who will want him after portraying doing this? He's then lost all kind of respect. Plus, he has the YouTube channel with him driving around doing all this kind of stuff. And then he got the stupid parish stuff that he got going on when he going on vacation. And none of this looks like when he turned in that car wheel, I don't see no discomfort in his face. I think it's a bunch of junk. I mean, if you at least hurt, at least pretend to be like, oh, wear a sling or something. There is no indication. Like I said, I watched that channel. He was driving that car in that YouTube video. You seen him turning the wheel? Did it look like he had discomfort in his face? It wasn't no discomfort. The guy's a liar, man. He's a liar. He's been a liar. All that's been a front. This whole thing's been a front. All that talking and saying nothing, it was a front. It was a front. And what was his record? Hold on. Let me show the family members. The rookies got to show him how to be a pro. The rookies have to show him how to be a pro. And this dude been in the league for 12 years, going on 13 years. And the rookies have to show Derek Carr how a pro behave. And for my people out there, the $150 million Derek Carr, this is his record as a Saints quarterback. It's 14-13 in 3 injury-plagued seasons. Boy, what a disaster this was. This was easily probably one of the worst contracts. It is definitely the worst contract. Don't throw Jarius Byrd or whoever else up in there. Don't do that because them dudes didn't get paid $150 million to get a 14-13 record. His career record with the Saints is 14-13. My goodness. 14-13. I don't want my shoulder hurt. But you out there driving cars, going to Paris, thumbing his nose at us, and we giving him money. He mad. No, ain't nobody gonna pay you that kind of money, but a dumb guy like Mickey Loomis and a possum like Dennis Allen. Nobody was gonna give him that money. It's just crazy, man. But anyway, let's move forward, man. Let me bring KT in here. Shout out to KT. KT, welcome on in, my brother. Appreciate you being in the live once again. I know you got some. What's up, my brother? I know you got some mean words for Mickey Loomis, so let's go ahead on there.
How about this? When you get excited for the draft, then you remember Mickey Loomis is your general manager.
Some Pepto-Bismol. Yes. And pour it on
Hey,
top
you
of
see my
Loomis's head.
tagline, Q? Yeah, I flipped over his cart. He took the last bit of the Cajun turkey and didn't think I was going to let this slide.
Oh, my God. Hold on. That's the guy right there. He did it. Oh, I was in there.
Hey, I didn't do it by myself. Reverend Saint help.
Reverend Saint was behind him saying, yeah, baby, you better get on out of here, baby.
Oh, no. We was going to let it slide, but he stole. This is the whole story. I'm in Ross's chopping it up with Reverend Saint for a cookout, getting ready to do a cookout. Mickey come by steal the Cajun turkey out of my card and the
Come
Cajun
on.
roast beef out of Regiment Saints card and try to
Oh
play it
man.
off, then say, I keep that thing on me.
Oh. Hold on, baby. Baby, you must be losing your mind, baby. Baby, I got something that's gonna cut you deep, baby. Listen here, baby. Yeah, bro, I can see Reverend Saint cutting up right there, right off the bat, KT. You don't do Reverend Saint that, bro. You gonna
Hey,
get
Q, I learned
hooked.
3 things in this world that'll get you killed: family, money, and food in no particular
Oh,
order.
bro, you're right. Some of them at the same damn time. All
Yeah.
right, but KT, bro. First of all, shout out to my dog KT family. This is KT, the Great Saint Think Tank Super Scout, brother extraordinaire. KT dropping the science, man. KT for the last several months have been just sending me videos on prospects. I still got several of them to watch. I be watching them. I be doing other stuff, but I be trying to get those videos and watch. And KT been having a lot of really good prospects. I still ain't caught up, KT. But man,
Hey,
I
bro.
appreciate you, bro.
Hey, I
Educate me on
appreciate.
that.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to the dude who put me up on game. You had him on the show a couple years ago for the Saints Washington game, brother Louis T.
Louis
That's
T,
where I
yeah.
learned.
Shout out to Louis.
That's where I learned how to find hidden gems and all that. So, which one you want to start at first?
Well, we got the we're gonna do it like this, brother KT. Let me get this on screen, bro. This is the so-called say this is the Saints let me see here. Let me kind of bring it down a little bit closer. This is the Saints order right here. So you can see this is the draft picks the Saints currently have. We farm and you see the perceived needs of the team. According to ESPN, wide receiver, cornerback, edge rusher, offensive guard, and QB are the needs. I think they have that listed in terms of priority. So let's go. And I know we're gonna do the part of the live draft at first. So you want to start with that. You want to do your live draft. Let's start with that, KT. Let's start off with the live draft, bro. That way we can kind of get
All right.
your thoughts on how it will go.
All right. So, with a live draft, I'm going to be real. I'm a Shador fan. I'm a Dion fan, but I still feel edge rusher and cornerback and X wide receiver are still our biggest needs. Now, if Big
Okay.
T Mac is there at 9, pull the trigger. If not, go with edge. Get Mike Green. Get James Pierce. I don't want Michael Williams from Georgia because I've seen this movie before with Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport.
And that's the thing, bro. Pierce, man. Listen, Pierce would be perfect for the Saints 3-4 look. He would be the perfect edge in on that. He could set that in. He pass rushes well. He just plug and play in my mind and will work really good in that 34 defense. The Green, bro, I love Green's game, but the criticism on him, KT, is can he set the edge like you want him? What do you think about that criticism?
I'll say yes because I'll give you a name right now who fits that size, similar play style, and came from a small school. I ain't saying like Division 2 or Division FCS, but same kind of prototype. Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack went to
That's
Buffalo.
right. That's right.
People remember Khalil Mack showing out against Ohio State, and that's what hyped him up. Mike Green, what game did he ball out again? Ball out at? Where people start paying attention to him at Marshall? Ohio State.
Yeah, that got him on that guy's really good. But let's KT, let's do this, bro. Let's start off with that, man. Then we'll get into the breakdowns of some of these guys here. And like I said, the computer will be doing the other teams will be doing the Saints. KT will be doing the picking and the breakdown and the explaining of each pick. All right, so KT, here we go. We're gonna get it going live on the air, man. He go to Draft Simulator. And of course, we ain't gonna
We're
throw
gonna
trades in
reject
that.
these trades.
Yeah, no trades in this simulation. They only slow it down. But this is what the computer has picked so far. KT, Cam Ward to the Titans, Travis Hunter to the Browns, Abdul Carter to the Giants, Mason Graham to the Patriots, Will Campbell to the Jags, Ashton Genty goes to the Raiders, Armand Membo to the Jets, and Will Johnson, the cornerback, to the Panthers. who's still available for you to pick. Shador's there, Ted McMillan, Ty Warner, Walker, Jelani Walker, many different people as well. So, who would be your selection if you're the general manager? Who would be the pick for you here?
I'm a Shador fan. I'm sorry, fam, but we need that big monster physical wide receiver. Give me Ted McMillan at 9.
All right, KT got Ted McMillan with the first pick. All right, and we're going to move on to the second round pick. Remember, we rejecting all trades. All right, KT, who's the next pick for you lining up here? James Pierce is available. Jalen Milroe, Kenneth Grant, Donovan Jackson, Benjamin Morrison, Connerly Jr., Mason Taylor, etc. Who do you go here?
Okay. You said James Pierce, right?
Pierce is at the top of the board.
Take Pierce. No, you ain't got to tell me nothing else. Pierce.
Okay, Pierce is on. Say we got Pierce. All right, we're moving on to the next selection here. All right, KT, third round pick, brother. Top guy at the board is Caleb Johnson from Iowa. Kyle Williams, the receiver. You got Jared Wilson, offensive lineman. Jack Bett, back. Denzel Burke, Barrett Carter, Chris Paul Jr., Tyler Show, Shamar Turner, Lathan Ransom. What do you look at here, KT, after making the pick? We got Ted McMillan at wide receiver at 9:40. We got Pierce as the edge rusher. So we got a fantastic wide receiver. We got a pencil in starter there. Where do we go with 71?
All right, so we're gonna check. Let's take a look at the secondary since we got 2 third-round picks. Let me know what you got at corner.
Cornerback that's on the board. Top guy is Denzel Burke, followed by Dorian Strong, Zay Alexander, Kobe Bryant, Jordan Hancock, Jacob Parrish, Quincy Riley, and Corey Black. Those are the top cornerbacks available. Safeties are Lathan Ransom, Billy Bowman, Jonas Sanker, Jalen Reed, R.J. Mickens, Malachi Moore, Sebastian Castro. Those are the top cornerbacks and safeties available.
Okay, cornerback. I'm gonna go back to corner one more time.
Denzel Burke, Dorian Strong, Zay Alexander, Kobe Bryant, Jordan Hancock, Jacob Parrish, Quincy Riley, Corey Black.
Okay, I'm gonna go Denzel Burke. I'm gonna keep the Ohio State streak alive, and I'm gonna give a little background. This dude in the college playoffs shadowed Texas' 2 best wide receivers. He took on Golden and Isaiah Bond and held his own. So I got to go with Denzel Burke.
KT, before we move on, why is Denzel Burke listed so low in some of these people draft boards? Why is he not getting the love that he should be getting? A lot of people don't even consider him a top 5 cornerback in college this year. Why is Burke not getting any love?
Well, the cornerback class is loaded, and he's still learning. He still needs to be coached because right now, the plays you saw him do, Q, in college, that's athletic ability. As the season went on, he got more comfortable and more confident in his technique and his coverage especially on deep routes when the ball was in the air.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, but that, Ohio State pipeline, like you say, man. So Ted McMillan is the top pick, number 9 pick. James Pierce is the 40th. 71 is Denzel Burke. So we got a top-notch wide receiver. At 9, we got Pierce as a defensive edge rusher for the Saints and Burke as a cornerback to help out there. Where do we go next in the round?
We go into the O-line, Q, since we got the second, third round pick.
Okay, who do you like, brother? They got at the line. Let me see who else we got lined up right here in terms of the O-line. Offensive tackle, Charles Grant from William and Mary, Logan Brown. These are the tackles. Chase Lunt, Anthony Bolton, Jalen Travis. Those are the top 5. The offensive guards are Dalen Fairchild, Miles Frazier, Jackie Slater, Garrett Dillinger, Luke Kandra, and the center is Seth McLaughlin, Jonah Moheim, Jake Majors, who the Saints scouted, and let me see who Jacob Gideon. So that's the top guys right there. KT, who you
okay. I spoke about Luke Kandra in my last video. In the last video we did together, but I'm going to go ahead and show some love to my hometown, and I'm going to go Miles Frazier from LSU. That fills up the guard.
What? Miles Frazier? Okay, all right. KT, LSU man in the building. All right, there we go. All right, so let's keep it moving. Go ahead, KT. What you about to say,
All
brother?
right, let's go to the fourth round.
All right, fourth round, 112 pick. At the top of the board is Cam Scatterbo. We got a defensive tackle Walker from Kentucky. We got tight end Terrence Ferguson, Demetrius Knight Jr., a linebacker from South Carolina, Restrepo, the wide receiver from Miami. Samuel Munden Jr. is there as well. And like I said, but what position you interested in, KT? You already got your wide receiver, you got your edge rusher, you got a cornerback to help out, and you got some offensive line help by getting a guard. Where do we go from here?
Look, Smell Munden is a beast. I think we need to address the linebacker. I know we got the Jalen Ford from Texas and the guy from Appalachian State who never panned out to do anything except for a special teams touchdown.
Okay.
We need to go ahead and get Demario Davis replacement.
All right, so Munden Jr. would be that guy over Demetrius Knight.
No, those are the two.
Okay.
Munden is an athletic freak, and
Yes, he is.
he's 230. I know that 3-4 system, you need bigger linebackers, so that's why I'm gonna go Demetrius Knight.
Okay. So Knight's the pick. All right. So
Yeah.
okay, KT, you doing it, brother. You got some help there. So we basically got a really good wide receiver in Ted McMillan. James Pierce is going to set the edge. Denzel Burke is going to provide security in the secondary. Miles Frazier will compete for the guard position, and Demetrius Knight Jr., the linebacker, could be a potential heir apparent for Demario Davis. All right, we'll pick 131. Where do you go from here?
Okay, let's go to safety.
Okay, safety. All right, so at what get well, I'm gonna let you do this, KT, because I have people gonna
Go
start
ahead and ask the
asking.
question, though, Q. I got your
Okay,
back, bro.
you already know where I'm going here, KT. We got 4 picks remaining in our draft, and people are gonna start asking. All right, KT, we got all these other guys, but we don't have. What do we do at the diva position? But you got the draft, brother. You go ahead. You tell me
All
what
right.
to do.
So I want to see who we got at safety. Then we're gonna go back at quarterback.
You got
And
Castro, Sebastian Castro's at the top. Crawford from Nevada is there. Hunter Woolard from Wisconsin. Hook from Toledo. Dante Trader Jr., Craig Woodson, Shiloh is also there as well from Colorado. And Rayun Lane III is there. So
okay, let's go to quarterback. Then we'll go to tackle.
okay, he said, okay, hell like none of them. Let's pivot to quarterback. Top guys on the board: Quinn Ewers, Dylan Gabriel, Riley Leonard, Kyle McCord, Curtis Rourke, Max Brosmer, Brady Cook, and Cam Miller. Those are the quarterbacks available that's remaining on the board.
Okay, so McCord and Ewers are the two guys I like.
Yes.
The only thing with McCord is when he's on, he's on. But when he's cold, it's bad. It's like real bad. Ewers, anticipation, throws with accuracy, has a good enough arm. Let's just go with Quinn Ewers.
All right, Quinn Ewers, bro. Hey, man, he kept Arch on the bench, man, for 2 years, brother. So, I mean, how about that? All right, so, okay, we got our quarterback of the future, KT. We're going to individually break these down after the draft is over with. You're going to go and tell me how these guys will function and how they'll fit in the scheme and everything.
Okay, so we got 3 picks left.
3 picks remaining, all right? At 184, where do you go from here?
Go to cornerback there. I feel we need to double dip at this position.
Okay, going back to cornerback. All right, Justin Wally, Jalen Smith, Mello Dotson, BJ Adams, Jamari Harris, Isa Waxter, Mac McWilliams, and Jason Marshall Jr. Those are the top corners left on the board.
Isa Waxer Jr. is the big corner with prototypical size and has enough speed to cover. It's just a question of the level of competition he played at Villanova. I like Waxter, so we can put a pin in him. Let's go to D tackle.
D tackle. All right, we're going D tackle. All right, Simeon Barrow, Aeneas Pebbles, Ty Robinson, Cam Jackson, Tim Smith, Tonka Hemingway, Vernon Broughton, and Ty Hamilton.
all too small to play in a 3-4. So our boy Stackhouse might be there in the 7th round. So we'll go corners. You know what, Q? I just remember what you said. Go to center. Go to center.
Go to center. All right, let's go to center. See what we got. All right, top centers available. Monahan is available. Monheim, excuse me. Jacob Gideon, Simpkins the third, Gus Hartwick, Tulafano, Drew
Give me my
Kendall.
boy Noah Fino.
All right, Tulafino. Okay, from Wyoming.
Wyoming.
All right.
6'1", 317. Smart, heady player. The only thing is, it's something you may like though, Q. Gets too aggressive at times. Not grabby or handsy, but kind of like plays true to the whistle.
Yeah, I love that, man. But under
And
control though. But under control.
yeah, and he's Polynesian, so you really don't want to piss off a Samoan and tongue and then try to calm him down. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years. I know from experience. So we got Telefino. Now with our last 2 picks, we're gonna go back to wide receiver, and I trust our scouts to go get us another corner in rookie free agency. Let's see what we got at wide receiver.
Jimmy Horn Jr., LaJonte Wester, Elijah Badger, Brew McCoy, Andrew Armstrong,
Drew,
from
I'm gonna
Arkansas.
explain this, and fam, y'all might be mad at me when I say this. We're gonna go with Andrew Armstrong. Dude he's a polished route runner. He's a move to change possession receiver. One guy I spoke to even called him great value, not great value Dez Bryant, great value CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, he's got. I remember watching tape on this guy. KT he was really productive there too. Got good size too. I don't know what his 40 time is. What's his 40
I
time?
think he was like 4.5, but that's still with the route running and the catch radius and the physicality. That's still good for a wide receiver.
Yeah. I remember this guy. We played him in when Arkansas. He was there at Arkansas. We played against him, and he made a few plays for them. So yeah, Armstrong. Okay, so that's 2 wide receivers, KT, and the draft, and then with the final pick, 254. What you got, brother?
Let's go to D tackle.
Okay, D tackle.
Because Garchaw is going to wear down. You and I both don't like Nathan Shepard, and Kalen Saunders. I see becoming a 3-4 DN backup to Brian Brzee.
Let me ask you this, KT. With the 34 look coming into place, who are the down 3?
Down 3, Garchaw. Shout out to Plaquemine, Louisiana, as I knows.
Okay.
I got Brian Brzee and our DN in that J.J. Watt / Bruce Smith role.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I don't have love Cam, but since I don't have faith in nobody else in the defensive line, the D tackle we drafted from Northern Iowa last year,
Christian Boyd?
I will make him my other DN in the 34.
Really? So what about what's his name? God damn, I forgot the man name. Other interior Bink Saunders. What about Bink? Bink ain't good over there?
Back up to Brian Brzee. We need we haven't drafted a note. We need backups because when we need quality backups because in a 34, you know this, Q.
Yeah.
As a defensive end, you're asked to control 2 gaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to be a dog.
You're going to need to keep a fresh rotation on the defensive line. That's why I think they're going to keep Shepard and Big Sanders at least for this season.
Right. Well, they restructured them, so contractually speaking, you would think that would be the move to kind of handle that interior, that depth situation. So in 254, the defensive tackles available. KT is Howard Cross the third from Notre Dame. Yaya Black from Iowa is available there. Aiden Huntington from Tulane. William Brenton from Georgia. Cam Hosley from Boston College. Storer Griffin from Louisville. Ritzy from North Carolina. Devontae O'Malley from Northern Illinois. Eric Gregory from Arkansas. and Jay Tola from UCLA. So any of
All
those
right, so
names,
somebody got our boy Stackhouse.
yeah, he gone, bro.
I'm gonna go with Yaya Black because Q, you remember I was beaten. I sent you a bunch of his stuff. Hey Q, check this guy out. Hey Q, check this guy out. Hey Q, check this guy out.
Big guy that can move, bro.
And the crazy part, when you see him on tape, he doesn't look like a 330-pound man. He looks like
No.
310, 315.
Yeah.
But that's a big boy. Could you tell everybody in the fam his size? No
He's
diddy.
six. He's 6'5", 336 pounds.
Anchors himself well, good in the run support, and he can give you something as far as pass rush. So that's why I'm going with Yaya Black. That would probably be a steal.
All right, that is okay. KT, hold on, let me download this and I'm gonna put it up on the screen, bro. And then you can individually break it down and let the family members know your thought processes on how you see these guys potentially fitting in to what we got going on. So yes, let me get this lined up here. But yeah, this is interesting, KT, because a lot of people gonna look at the fact that we needed a quarterback, but KT obviously went to the different direction. So that's KT picks on the screen. KT, break them down pick by pick and let us know how these guys help you, and if they, if they're upgrade and whatnot, kind of add them into the team. Let us know how these guys help the Saints.
Okay. Wide receiver is a need. We have the speedsters, but we really don't have a big bully Muda Chains possession receiver. We have been trying to replace Michael Thomas since we let Michael Thomas go. So that's where I put Tedderon McMillan. Granted, he ran a 4.58, but still, I see him being used in that Mike Evans, Drake London role. Big physical receiver with a catch radius. I know some people are down on him because of the tape, but at the same time, we all said dumb things when we were kids at 18, 19 years old as a freshman in college. So I'm not holding that against him. And plus, with our wide receiver coach, he's going to get that, bring that dog out of him. That's why I got T-Mac at 9.
Mm-hmm. Now, so like he said, we talked about that. This fact that a lot of people were hesitant about that video, him saying that he did not like football, like the watching football and all. I mean, all this kind of stuff. But watching tape by itself, but he does do it with the teammates. The way I see it that was not a smart thing to say. But KT, if that is indeed the truth and it's not cap, look what he did just in the last couple of years of playing football with that temperament. Imagine if he has a coach like Coach Williams for the Saints, what they can get out of him if he did that with that thought process. So that's amazing. But with all that being said, that still didn't lead to your thought to let McMillan slide.
Let let him slide for saying that? Because I remember Trevor Lawrence saying the same thing, and he went number 1 overall. I looked at it, okay, as long as you perform on the field, okay, I don't like watching tape. I don't like watching film. Heck, I was in the military for 7 years, Q. At 18 years old, I told my supervisor, look, I do the bare minimum to keep you from yelling at me and chewing me out. Then as I got older, hey, I shouldn't have said that. I mature, I grew. We've all, like I said, we've all done dumb stuff as kids, and it was confirmed he did that as a freshman. 18, 19. When you're the man, sometimes you just think, I can just roll out of bed and catch 8 for 150 and 2 touchdowns.
That's right.
The athletic ability is there, but like you said, you have faith that Bo Davis can turn our defensive line around. I have faith Keith Williams is going to get everything out of our wide receivers, especially if we get a big physical one.
I'm with you on that, brother. Like I said, Bo Davis was one of my favorite pickups for the Saints on defensive line. And you're right, Keith Williams could definitely turn that around. So that's a good one, KT. What about the rest of it? What about Pierce, bro? I like that one too.
Pierce, this is one thing I said. and this kind of makes me sick sometimes with analysts. They'll use certain things to drop a player's draft stock. They'll say he has anger issues or attitude problem. That dude can straight up ball. His teammates have said he was a good teammate. Sometimes you can just get fired up and be passionate. Nobody wants to be happy while losing. I'm gonna be ticked off. Him, it's the perfect thing of technique and natural athletic ability. He has lateral quickness. He's good at setting the edge against the run. And that first step, Q, you've seen some Tennessee games yourself this season.
Yes.
Just looked like he knew the snap count.
Yeah, he did. Great anticipatory skill that this guy has, man. He's a plug and play to me, KT.
Definitely a plug and play. Same with Denzel Burke. I feel like he's this year's Kool-Aid. First round talent, but not taken in the first round. Because Burks has skills. I've seen him at Ohio State. I've seen him do it where he traveled and followed team's best receiver, switch sides, traveled, good at man and zone. And it was like, okay, when you found out you had a talent, then you really found out, wait a minute, I'm good at this. I can actually do this for real. Your confidence grows. Then you get to the point, can't nobody mess with him. That was Burke. He was just doing it off athletic ability. He get worried on deep routes, even though he had the speed to catch up, not turn around looking back for the ball. And as the season progressed, he started to do that. He was just doing that off athletic ability, Q. The coaching started to kick in during the college football playoffs. You saw what he did to Isaiah Bond. You saw what he did to Matthew Golden before Golden got hurt.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the Notre Dame wide receivers? No, because Denzel Burke handled his business.
Yeah, he was something else, bro. He had a mega. He's solid. When the competition is, I'm not period. He's just a solid guy. I don't know why they have him so listed so low. I don't get that. Maybe it's a mark against his size. He's 5'11", but he plays a lot bigger than that. So I mean, he's a solid size, man. Good speed, solid fundamentally. The film because this is one of the players that you sent me to look at, study tape on it, the back pedal. The guy is, he got a lot of smoothness and body control to his game. I just don't understand why Burke is listed so low on some of these draft boards. It's ridiculous, but he's a player.
Because his agent didn't pay the media members.
That's what it is, bro. That's got to be. They got them.
You like to call him Tyler Shoe. I call him. It's pronounced Shuck. I call him Shuck Corn because dude is old. He's injury prone. To me, Tyler Shuck is a cross between Chris Winkie and Daniel Jones, but I digress. We're
going to get into the QB talk, KT, because I want to hear what you say about the top 5 quarterbacks they considered picks. Me personally, I think Tyler doesn't have enough tape for me to be picking him in no first round or even the second round. He had one solid year, in my estimation, of QB play from Louisville. The rest of the time, he was banged up. It was a lot of movement. I just didn't see enough. His potential there, but there are other guys that I would put ahead of Tyler, just to be honest with you. But go ahead, KT, finish your breakdown on your draft, bro.
All right. Miles Frazier. Contrary to popular belief, I do not hate LSU. Miles Frazier. Look.
Just Will Campbell.
No, I showed you the tape of Nick Scorton eating Will Campbell's lunch.
He did. Yeah. That was I was very disappointed in that. Scorton.
Hey, Q, you told me if I came for you, I better have receipts. So I had receipts, laminated, and highlighted.
Yeah, Scorton, made him look really rough, bro. That wasn't a good outing there. Yeah. That was a tough match.
Miles Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
For a guard, he has the size. He has just enough athleticism. He's good at pass blocking, run blocking. You can play him in a zone or a man run scheme. Kellen Moore said the offensive run scheme is going to have a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a good athlete for his size. That's why I went Miles Frazier. Plug and play left guard.
Is he a starter for the Saints? Does he beat Dylan Rodents? And what's the other guy, the Italian guy who can't stay healthy? Nick Saldiveri. Where is he placed between those guys? How do you think he challenges
If
Saldiveri?
he challenges them, I'll say it like this: if he doesn't win the job if he was on the team, if he doesn't win the job in camp, he's going to keep a fire under their feet because he's coming.
Mhm.
Kind of like how DJ Glaze was for the Raiders this year, where he put pressure on both of their starting tackles. So I see that with Miles Frazier.
Right. Okay. What about
Demetrius Knight. I would have went with Smell Mondin Jr. The only thing that kept me from going with him is the fact that he's 235 pounds, and with us switching to a 3-4, you need bigger linebackers in the middle.
Mhm.
Look at it with the Giants. You had Harry Carson. Look
Mhm.
at it with the Patriots. Teddy Bruschi. You need a linebacker with some size and athletic ability, and that's where Demetrius Knight Jr. comes in. Don't believe me? Put on the LSU South Carolina game. Watch any tape with South Carolina defensive highlights, and you will see Demetrius Knight Jr. sideline to sideline, hits, covers. The only thing I got on him, he's a little bit too aggressive in coverage and run support, so he can't jump out of his lane. But that can be coached.
Mhm.
But he has the athletic ability. He can cover. And the thing I know Q likes as an old linebacker himself, he's a thumper.
Yeah, man, light him up, brother. Light him up, full speed, bro. Heat seeking missile, bro. Seek and destroy, bro. That's how we play the line. But love that, bro. You got to make them respect you, bro. You gotta put the fear of God in those receivers that come through your territory, man. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, having a guy that light them up like that, that's big.
Quentin Ewers, I had him in my top 3. I can understand as far as QBs coming out in this year's draft. I understand the injury derailed to some, and the 2 Georgia games hurt. The 2 performances against Georgia hurt his stock some. But looking at his collective body of work, I am a fan of Ewers. He has the accuracy. I've seen deep passes he's thrown where it got there. Yes, he threw it attempt. Soon as this guy got even on the receiver, he threw it ahead of time, but he has an arm for the deep pass. He's more mobile than you think. He's not Arch Manning mobile, but he still can buy time with his legs and get you 5 yards or a first down with his legs. Ewers has the talent. Q, you asked me a question about Kyle McCord transferring from Ohio State
Mm-hmm.
to go to Syracuse.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers was at Ohio State with McCord, Fields, and Stroud. And when he couldn't beat out Stroud for the starting job, he went back home to Texas. So the talent's there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy how, you trace these guys back there at one point, but a couple of these guys with Ohio State, bro, couldn't find opportunity because of a loaded room, transferred back and became people that took these teams to the next level. So that's very interesting how Ohio State have these guys piled up there like that, bro.
Your
That's
boy
crazy.
Joe Burrow.
Yep. Yeah, Joe Burrow was one. We got him like that. Yep. That's crazy, man.
Arizona State with Jaden Daniels.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just making the most of opportunity.
Right.
So
Yeah, it works, bro. But his size. What about the size issue you got with Quinn? A lot of people says he's a little small for that. I know he got the heart for the job. He's very productive. He can make the throws. He's tough as nails. Well,
how tall is he? About what, 6'1", 6'2"?
somewhere along in that, they're saying he's about 6'2". I think he's about the same height as Shador. I think they're saying.
Okay, I'm going to say this for all the ones talking about prototypical height and size. The tallest quarterback in the NFL Hall of Fame is Peyton Manning. No quarterback over 6'5" or 6. No quarterback 6'5" or taller has made the Hall of Fame.
They got their bullshit prototypes.
You can say what you want, but sometimes you got to look at your eye test. And good, bad, indifferent, Quinn Ewers showed me he can flat out ball. You want to bring in a quarterback, even if he's not the QB of the future, somebody to push Rattler, you got Quinn.
Okay. All right, KT, kind of, what's pick 184? Kind of enlighten us about him. I'm not familiar with him, bro. From Wyoming.
Noah
Telephone.
Fino. No, Fano. Okay. We just gonna call him Nofo.
Nofo. Okay, that helps, bro. You know I'm bad with these names, bro. I was about to say NT, bro. You know I'm about to start initialing people, dog.
Yeah. Nofo, excuse me, was a starting center for Wyoming. Tough, physical, a little bit smaller, about 6'1" and some fractions, but rounded up for 6'2", 315, physical, smart. Is like the quarterback. He's the quarterback of the offensive line. He can read and diagnose plays. Good in run blocking, solid enough pass blocker. The only thing about him is sometimes he plays too aggressive and his emotions get the best of him. So with a veteran offensive line, you can reel that in. With Eric McCoy, you can reel it in. The difference is if that would have been Nofo instead of McCoy getting into it with a car, Carr's head would have been in that helmet getting drugged down the Superdome turf.
Well, I mean, it almost was if it wasn't for who was that got in the way of Eric McCoy? Somebody stepped in the way.
That might have been Lucas Patrick or
I think I forget who it was. Either it had to be Lucas Patrick. I think y'all put in the chat who was it that got in the way that saved Derek Carr's life because McCoy was coming for him. I never seen McCoy that high, KT.
That's like the one uncle in the family you see always in a good mood who you never want to tick off.
That's right. And when you get mad, you see why you don't want to make him mad. That's right.
Yeah, when you get mad, everybody in the house gone. The only person that can calm him down is your grandparents.
Hey, robbing his ass with food. Man, come over here, stop that foolishness. Come over here, get some of these.
Well, you know in our culture, over here. You know, Momo, Mimi, Gigi, whatever you call your grandma, head of the household. She say one word, hey, that's still his mama. He gonna shut it down. Boy, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then she go bravo with the food.
Hey, boy, cut all that out, boy. Come on, go get some of this bread pudding over here, boy. What you doing? Oh yeah, bro. Brett robbing his big ass with food. Cartel says James Hurst saved him. Saved Lemon.
Hold on, what's Hurst on the team last year?
I
thought he retired.
He said, was it Hurst? I thought it was Lucas Patrick.
I thought it was Lucas Patrick. I thought it was Lucas Patrick, Connor McGovern. It was one of them.
One of them dudes. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look it up, KT. Go ahead to your breakdown, bro. I'm gonna find out what it was.
Okay. Andrew Armstrong, AA. Dude runs good routes. He's 6'2", 200 plus pounds. Big wide receiver, fast, physical, has a nice catch radius. Isn't a burner, but has enough speed to go vertically. The speed comes a problem with the run after catch, but he excels with his route running in the short and intermediate routes. Some people call him great value CeeDee Lamb. Funny enough, Arkansas's campus is right down the road from Walmart headquarters. So there you go. And don't be dissing great quality. They make good products.
Okay.
Hey, that's budget friendly and it works. But Drew Armstrong, you would give somebody a role. Okay, they're double teaming T-Mac and you need to get something in the intermediate. Okay. Go to Drew. Go to Drew Armstrong. I was tempted to go with Isaac Tesla, but Tesla has the deep speed. The only thing was Tesla can never stay healthy long enough. And with all the speed and everything you're showing me, why couldn't he put it together to dominate, kind of like Brandon Coleman? That's why I went with Armstrong. Armstrong was consistent at Arkansas.
It was right. It is Hurst.
James Hurst.
James Hurst saved it. Look at McCoy. Look, the whole damn team coming over there to help out. Look. But he was going to
Hey,
get him,
Q,
bro. He
that's
was
the
going.
fastest I've ever seen Cesar Ruiz run in my life.
Yeah, he was running over there to try to get McCoy. He knew what time it was with McCoy, man. That was Hurst. Hurst, it sure was Hurst. Hurst was coming to get him. I don't,
Yeah,
he said it was a disagreement. He said something, boy, I never seen McCoy that damn mad, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
and
Never
I've
seen him that mad.
seen me and you both, Q, and I've seen McCoy and Dominican Sue battle it out, and I've never seen McCoy get that mad.
Yeah, I never seen him that mad, bro. Never seen Eric that mad, bro. Look at Carl. Look at he said something. I don't know what he said. Y'all put in the chat because they was arguing about something. Carl was fussing and blaming him for something for the play that didn't work. And this is the kind of dude this is. You want to go to church with you and eat steaks and come on over to my house and then on the field, this is what he do. Got it. McCoy, who don't even get bad at nobody. But
Passive
look at
aggressive,
McCoy.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Look at watch it. Look, they all coming. Look at it. They all looking like McCoy mad. That's like, oh, you better get on over there. Carl just don't understand. He's slowing down, looking back because Hurst is there. Hurst saved his miserable life.
that's like one of them things where you hear the record. You could be in the middle of the club and you hear the record scratch.
Right. Yeah, I had to pull it up, man, to make sure. Carl almost lost it that day, boy. You lucky. But hey, go ahead, KT. Yaya Black, man. And then we're going to kind of go into, because some of these players are interesting, man. I want you, after this, I want you to tell me which one of these guys, where they start in the lineup, man, in terms of that. Yaya Black, what you think about him? I sent footage on him, bro. Big guy. You're right. He don't look like a defensive tackle.
Yaya Black, excuse me for cussing Q, excuse me for cussing fam. Yaya Black is a grown ass man.
Yeah.
And dude, you don't have to worry at his size. You don't have to worry about his conditioning, because if you watch any Iowa football last season, they were on the field a lot. He's good against the run. He sets it. You're not going to move him by himself. I've seen him effectively split double teams. Pass rushing, he needs to add a little bit more to his repertoire, but 3.5 sacks for a guy that size is still good enough. I think right now he would be a good depth piece, and he would also soak up learning from Devon Godshaw. Him learning from Godshaw would help benefit him as becoming a pro and getting in to spell Godshaw. You keep your two big nose tackles fresh.
Yeah. So let's do this, KT. Who in your mind starts? I know Ted McMillan obviously started at the 9th position if the Saints take him there. Ted definitely starts. James Pierce starts opposite of Brian Bursey on the other side.
I got Demetrius Knight starting because honestly, I like dude, but you can almost get to the point where you can set your clock to when Pete Warner gonna get hurt.
That's true. That's true. And I like that more solid linebacker the Saints have behind, because in the 34 look, you're going to need some good linebackers there, man, to help keep that defensive turning. If in the final year of Demario Davis's situation, we kind of were fortunate with Demario, like we were fortunate. Demario rarely missed time, and he's definitely losing a lot of his lateral ability. Pete Werner is it was last year was the first. Was he hurt last? I think last year was the first year where he didn't miss extensive time.
I think that was really the first time in a while.
Yeah, because everything else was that. But your best linebacker behind those two guys is who, KT? Or Anthony Orji? I like Anthony Orji, but yeah.
I like Anthony Orji, but I think this is one of the few guys I give Dennis Allen credit for getting it right. If he's healthy, Jalen Ford can do some damage. You might have to bulk him up a little bit, about 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. But Jalen Ford can do some damage in the linebacker there.
Right.
So I would like Jalen Ford. DeMarco Jackson is just a special team guy. If he is at this point, he's in year 4 or 5, year 3 or 4, we know what we have.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we were waiting to see him materialize, and he really hadn't shown too much. He makes a few plays here or there. Nephi Sewell is seen as a special teams guy too. So you looking at Demetrius Knight, just a injury away from being a starter, right, KT? And Miles Frazier, you see him as a guy that'll be a solid depth piece and
I think
eventually a
I
starter.
think I give him a realistic chance of starting. He's going to push Raduns and he's going to push. Let me stop that. Ham and cheese pole boy from St. James could push Nick Saldivari.
I'm serious, bro. Dude ain't doing nothing, man. You got to get it together, bro.
So
They almost they
yeah,
handed him KT. They handed him the starting job last year, gave it to him, and he got hurt, lost it. That's how Lucas Patrick picked it up because they had
yeah.
Lucas Patrick and I forgot the other offensive lineman at the Saints signed at the same time. They picked Lucas Patrick up, but
Connor
the guy,
McGovern.
McGovern wasn't McGovern. No, it was the other guy. KT. We didn't get McGovern until later on in the year after McCoy got hurt. It
Ollie
was
Udo. That's who it was.
Ali Udo. There you go. That's who it
Or
was.
as you, useless Udo.
Useless Udo indeed, brother. Boy, that guy was terrible. He was awful. So yeah, this is
But
interesting, KT. So Quinn pushes Spencer for the job, even though Spencer keeps the starting job with Quinn, but Quinn gives him iron sharpens iron type of thing.
iron
Offensive line,
sharpens iron type of thing, and that gives us another reason to celebrate because we get Derek Zoolander off the team.
indeed, bro. That's true. We get his sorry ass out of here too. He taking jobs he don't even earn. All right, so let's pivot.
He can hop in the trunk of Derek's new car and ride out.
Yeah, I think Derek Carr got his brother sitting in his car. Two useless quarterbacks. Boy, you talk about the exact opposite of what the Mannings are. The Cars, man, they ain't going nowhere. So let's do this, KT. Let's pivot, man, because I want to get your thought process on the like a lot of what they were saying about the quarterback position.
Okay.
Now, like I said, man, this is something that we kind of talked about here with the QB position. The talk about Cam Ward surpassing Shedeur Sanders, the fact that the media people are saying, and I played it on the show last week from Jason Jones from CBS, he was saying that he's hearing stuff from NFL execs that's saying that Shedeur Sanders is not a top 15 pick. Some people are saying he's not even a first round pick. He's a guy that's in the second round. Now, I don't believe any of this stuff. I've had Shedeur Sanders ranked above Cam Ward for a long time. Mel Kiper still has him ranked above Cam Ward. Give me your top five. Give me your top five quarterbacks as far as talent and what they can do for you. Who's your top five in the right order?
All right. Honestly, I love both. But me, I'm going with Shedeur. Shedeur is not mobile, exceptionally mobile. Have a cannon for an arm, but he's accurate. He can read a defense. He's been reading defenses since he was in high school. I have Shedeur as one. The only thing with Shedeur and Cam Ward has the same problem. They try to play hero ball. They'll hold on to the ball a little bit too long trying to make the big play. So that's why I got Shedeur at one, Cam Ward at two, because he has the arm talent, he has the athletic ability, he has the mobility. And coming out of high school, he was a 0-star recruit. And look at him now. He has the arm for the count. He has a cannon for an arm, but he needs to be coached to be like, okay, take the chuck down, throw it away. Don't try to get to the point where you trust your arm to make every and any kind of throw thinking you can whoop it in there, because that will lead to a lot of interceptions at the NFL level.
That's right.
Number 3. I'm going to go with Quinn Ewers. All you Jackson Dart people, come at me in the comments. I said what I said. Accurate, battle-tested, has a good enough arm, more mobile than you think. I got Quinn Ewers, and isn't shy in the big moments. I got Quinn Ewers.
Number 3.
That was number 3. Number 4.
Okay.
Jackson Dart. He has the athletic ability, the arm, and all that. This is my knock on that Jackson Dart. He played in that one read Lane Kiffin offense where they cut the field in half. We kind of saw that before with Matt Corral.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, he has all the tools. I think he's a late first round, early second round quarterback. The talent's there. I just wouldn't put him over the other ones.
Okay. So Jackson's
And no,
4.
Milroe's 5. Milroe is like a good steak cube. He needs to be somewhere where he can sit, have a good offensive minded coach or a good quarterback coach or OC that can bring him along slowly and groom him, kind of like what the Packers did with Jordan Love. Season it, marinate, let it sit for a couple of days before you throw it in the fire. But he has the athletic ability. He has the arm. He needs to learn how to throw with touch. He
Yeah.
needs to learn how to read and understand, okay, they disguise and coverages. And he needs to learn the difference between, okay, I can buy time with my legs, or screw it, I'll just tuck my tail and hey, I'll just take off and run. Knowing when it's the right time and place for that.
All right. Let me ask you about a quarterback. Shout out to Cartel says he likes what about he says, oh my God, this top 5 don't have Seth Hennigan and Curtis Rourke. So, Seth Hennigan from Michigan and Rourke from Indiana is who you're referencing. What's your thoughts on
Okay,
those two
Seth
guys?
Hennigan from Memphis. And I
Curtis Rourke.
saw Rourke from Indiana. Yeah, Rourke was good. Rourke and that Indiana team, that was something special. They lived off the seat of their pants. What happened to Rourke and against Notre Dame, since you wanted to ask why they weren't in the list? I'll wait. Rourke got antsy. Rourke, the same thing I said, when he was on, he was on. But when from the highs of highs to the lowest of lows, and his lows were really low. I'm talking about H-Town below sea level low. That's why I don't even have Curtis Rourke. Like, I invite him to rookie minicamp. I give him a trial in preseason. Hannigan, nah,
You
that was
thinking
in Memphis system.
you thinking them guys are gonna be undrafted, KT? Is that what you're saying? You think they get undrafted?
Yeah, pretty much. Wish him the best when like I told you about your boy Short But Sammy. I don't see it.
He disappeared, bro.
He played
Professor
one game and then the coach made the coach draft Anthony Richardson. So there you go.
Richardson. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at. Richardson, man. I don't know what's going on there, but shout out to the professor. Says Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, that's another thing, man, to talk about. Dylan
Okay.
Gabriel. Now Dylan Gabriel. A lot of time in college. KT, undersized guy, but is very productive. Dylan Gabriel. He's a very interesting. I don't hear too many people talking about him. I don't think the Saints talked to him. Matter of fact, they
Dylan
didn't.
Gate, man. Dude is scrappy. Dude is tough because I've seen him take some punishment when he was at UCF. I saw him take some punishment at Oklahoma. Dylan Gabriel is a NFL backup. Dylan, they were loaded at Oregon. That's why he showed out like he did this year. But I don't trust Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is like Bo Nix, a super senior.
Yeah, he is a lot of games played in college. They took advantage of that, bro. They're like real college vets to get their games together, bro. That's one thing I know is that's why I did the same comparison. I was like, man, he must have just he Bo Nix to the extreme. I mean, what?
Yeah,
How many years? It's like college veterans just in the game, different schools playing college, playing quarterback, just getting
dude,
all of
he
those
could have
live
drawn.
college reps.
Dylan Gabriel is so old he could have drew a pension while he was walking across the stage at graduation.
Dude is man, he got a lot of years here. It's exactly like Bo Nix in terms of him just being there. His numbers are good, but my goodness, like, how long has he been in? Since 2019?
Tyler
His
Shough,
KT, he was since 2019, bro.
him and
6 years,
Tyler
super
Shough
senior.
had been in since 2018. The super seniors. Dude,
Dude.
his arm doesn't wow
Yeah, I
you.
think
His arm.
isn't he the college? Isn't he the top college? Doesn't he own the record, the passing record? KT, Dylan Gabriel. He owned a bunch of college passer records, man. He spent he spent 6 years in college.
I'm
But go
gonna
ahead, bro. What you
say
was gonna say?
you should if you. He should if he in college that long.
6 years, bro. 6 years in college.
Him and Tyler Shough, yeah, they're going to be either career backups or XFL quarterbacks. You pick your choice.
Yeah, it's just another guy. That's why I'm saying I like his size and his arm talent, but he had a good year. It's just I haven't seen enough of the guy to put together to make him a first round draft pick. A lot of people's like, man, he's a first round draft pick. In what world? I mean, like I said, you watch him play. He played well in 24, but if you go back and watch the years, he's been in college for 6 years too, and
He
he
was
had one good year.
he was okay at Oklahoma. He was solid at Central Florida, but he was, like I said, just the guy.
KT, this man was Louisville, Texas Tech, Oregon. And the last year was the year in 2020. Well, with Louisville, he had a very decent year. Prior to that, the best year he had was his second year with Oregon when he threw for just over 1,500 yards with 13 touchdowns. Last year, he had 23 and 6. But the reality is, like, it's 1 year. That's why I was telling the family members. I was like, the man had like 1 year that he actually balled and he threw for over 3,100 yards and 23 touchdowns against 6 interceptions. But if you go back and watch the film before that, he didn't put together a full season because of injuries. You know, he moved around from different schools, and then finally he had an opportunity. I don't think this is first round. I don't think this is a first round quarterback. I think this is a guy that you draft later on and develop if you like him like that. If you like his height and his arm strength and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see him as a first or second round quarterback. KT is not enough.
Dude will be 26 his rookie year.
Chris Winkie.
No, look, I'm a Florida State fan. Chris Winkie was 28 going on 29.
Cam. Hey, listen, bro. This is the thing that's crazy. That's what we used to call him, man, Chris Twinkie, because he was so old coming out, man. It's totally ridiculous. But Cartel saying, Q, pull up Curtis Rourke's numbers and put them on. Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, bro. We ain't poo-pooing Rourke. I just don't. 29-5. Yeah, it's pretty good. We're aware of some of this. The Ohio Bobcats spent a lot of
This was when
time
he jumped
with
in
Ohio.
when Indiana starter got hurt. He was the backup.
Mm-hmm. He had some decent years though, KT. I mean, the 2022 year, he put up over 3,200 yards with 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions that year. And then he goes to IU and he has a really good year, almost 30 touchdowns against 5 picks. So, I mean, and over 3,000 yards. But like, he got a good size for him and some good production. I think this is maybe a third day quarterback, somebody that goes with between 5 and 7. That you see like a 5 and 7, like a prospect?
I see a UDFA, bro, because when I say Like, I understand people have bad games. He was starting to win me over that Indiana Ohio State game, and it seemed like when the moment got too big for him, he shrunk. Then the Notre Dame game, he was awful. He was hot garbage. He was Lil Yachty mixtape garbage. He was Soulja Boy telling Nick Cannon collaborated album bad.
Damn. That's bad, brother. That's horrible, bro. That's almost nuclear bad, bro. That's like wasteland bad, bro.
Hold on, no. Forgive me, all my No Limit fans. He was a Silk the Shocker freestyle bad.
Silk the Shocker bad. And P had some bad artists on that, boy. He had some guys that couldn't rap a GIF. I mean, but yeah, they was on that rapper. Yeah, but Silk the Shocker, boy. Oh my God.
Hey, P gave more family members jobs than Keenan Ivory Wayne's.
Straight up, bro. Guys out the grocery store, guys that couldn't rap to save their life, but they had an album on No Limit. Boy, I was like, shh. Damn. But yeah, that's bad. Silk the Shocker freestyle bad. That's pretty bad, brother. That's terrible. That.
Tell your boy to go put on the tape from the Notre Dame game. Tell them they were stagnated. They were really stagnated. And as quarterback, you're supposed to be the common influence on the team. You don't have, there are some quarterbacks that aren't big rah-rah guys. Like Justin Herbert isn't a big rah-rah guy, but will his teammates run through a brick wall for him? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Montana wasn't a big rah-rah guy, but he helped. They needed a drive in the Super Bowl. Joe Montana telling jokes to calm down his offensive linemen so they could go down there and win the drop. Dude look like Dennis Allen when the Saints getting their butt beat. What do we do? I don't know what to do.
Point and blame somebody else. That's what he'll do.
Yeah,
Casey,
look.
Let me ask you this, KT, bro. As we get ready, we getting close to the end. And I know you want to kind of break down to the family members. Let's do it like this, brother. Give me 5 players, KT. 5 players that you would like the Who Dat Nation to be aware of. Guys to you that they might not be aware of that are game changers that can be possible picks that can help the Saints on the team. What are 5 guys? Give me 5 guys, no matter what positions they play. 5 really good ones who you see as game changers.
Za Frazier, cornerback, Texas San Antonio. I know a lot of people are shy about UTSA because of Marcus Davenport, but look at Tariq Woolen. Same school, he's balling out. Za Frazier, 6'3", 186 pounds, 4'3", 640. Kind of slim for a corner, but is a good short tackler. Only has 2 missed tackles his whole college career, and they were this season. That's one of my games.
I'm trying to find them on here, KT.
Za Frazier. Z. Might have to Google him.
Yeah, because they don't have them on here, bro. You ain't even listed on here.
Yeah, the agents didn't pay him.
Yes, that's how I go too. You see,
you want us to butcher guy? Give us some money. Give us some money.
Yeah, you got to talk to Mel Kiper Jr. for that, brother. You know, Mel will take money to elevate
Another one, if we don't address wide receiver early, here's another guy. We know about Brew McCoy at Tennessee. I was talking about this other guy, Dante Thompson. Hold on. You got him, Za Frazier.
There you go.
All right. 6'3", 186 pounds.
Yeah, the first team all ACC, is an intriguing secondary presence with an elite athletic profile and projectability despite his age and correlating performance ceiling. Strengths, elite athletic profile, zone, projectability, success against 50-50 balls, ball production concerns is inexperience, age and regard is the performance ceiling, double moves, depth in lower half, to sink and dive out of breaks. So yeah, and KT, this is a guy, 6'3" guy. What's his speed on here, KT? I'm not seeing his 40 time. Yeah, how fast?
4.3 6.
Oh, snap. That's pretty
And
damn good.
Brandon Staley runs a lot of zone with his 3-4. He excels in that.
Right.
So that's perfect. You want a big physical corner? That way we can keep Alontae Taylor in the slot or move him to safety. There you go.
All right, I got that. KT, that's number one. You got 4 more. Who's your second guy, my brother?
Second guy I would go with is wide receiver Dante Thornton from Tennessee. He's
Dante.
a 6.
I'll pull him up right quick.
Yeah.
All right, get to KT dropping some. I've heard of this man. Hold on, let me pull up his profile right here. There we go. All right, KT, Mr. Thornton on screen, bro. 6'5", 205 from Tennessee.
Keith Williams would have a field day with him. I know we're used to this on a defensive line, but he's raw, but he has all the athletic ability. He had a career high 26 catches this year, but 6'5", 205 pounds, vertical threat, 4.35.
Yeah. Damn.
He can go up and get the 50-50 balls. You can put on some muscle to have him be your chain mover. But somebody that big, that tall, that fast, that's like giving Rattler Xavier Leggett again. Throw it up, go get it, big fella.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good right there. What's his production over here at Tennessee, KT? See if I can find some numbers on him. See, 20 led the team with 661 receiving yards, 26 receptions, 6 receiving TDs. Led FBS with 25.4 yards per reception. Played in all 13 games. Had 4 starts. They see him as a 4th round quarterback there. I mean, wide receiver. Explosive verticality. Career average of 22 yards per catch. Play strength, hand fighting, pull them against physical corners. Able to sink hips and gather quickly. Talent to track, adjust, and win contested deep throws. True speed to make house calls when catching on the move. Works away from coverage and toward the throw for quarterbacks. That's a plus. Weaknesses, he runs a 3 route tree with slight variations, limited route tree. Value can be snuffed out by deep safety looks. Long strides are gradual and rounded and on breaks. Separate burst from route breaks is average, lacks decisiveness, and wiggle after the catch. But like you said, this guy's a developmental guy. He has the tools. Can't teach size. You can't teach speed. And Coach Williams will be a guy that can take this guy and add him in. And man, that's to have the 6'3", 6'5" with a 4.3 speed, KT, dude. I mean, that's a plus no matter how you look at it, bro.
You want to know what's funny, though, Q? Remember that weakness said he had a limited route tree? They
Yes.
had another big fast wide receiver who had a limited route tree. DK Metcalf.
Okay. All right. Point taken. All
But
right.
I think
KT did his thing.
Coach Williams would love having a guy like him.
Hell yeah, he would love this guy. This guy would be awesome for us, man.
Another guy I would love to draft. Midday, late round. We're gonna go to safety Q. We're gonna go to Jalen Reed from Penn State.
Okay. All right. I like him. All right.
Now he's 5'11", 200 pounds, but he has the speed and the lateral quickness to move. He can play deep safety or line of scrimmage. The only thing with Jalen Reed is his biggest attribute is also his biggest detriment. He can get too aggressive.
Okay. There you go. Too aggressive, you saying, KT?
I did. Over aggressive.
Yeah.
And sometimes he can think he knows something and can jump the route, or he'll over pursue and run play and a running back and cut back. But reading diagnose skills there, athletic ability is there, coverage skills there, run support's there. The only knock on him is the over aggressiveness and the height.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely a thumper, bro. He mean. So I mean, yeah. So we definitely need some patience back there. They said a good backup with potential to develop into a starter. 4.49 on the 40. For speeds for him, a second team All Big Ten, led team with 98 tackles, 6.5 tackles for a loss. He had 2.5 sacks, 3 picks, 1 return for TD, 3 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and started all 16 games from Penn State. They see him as a 4th round pick right there. And like you said, you talked about some good things, KT. They right on the money with it. Well built with strength to play down low, sees route developments from zone coverage, trusts instincts, eyes for quick trigger. Effective add-on run defender, does a good job of slipping blocks, and his weaknesses, he misreads, mental mistakes were costly. Occasionally turns his hustle down or off, lacks play speed and range, could struggle to stay connected in man coverage underneath, comes in hot, and lacks the agility to recover as an open field tackler. So but look at all that, but KT, 98 tackles last year, very productive player, Mr. Jalen Reed. All right, hold on, KT, before you go to your 4th prospects, let's give Scoob. Shout out to Scoob. Says, Big Homie, it was great hanging out with you and the Coma crew tonight, off to finish preparing for dinner tomorrow. Great input, KT. P.S. That mid fade is fire. Oh, thank you, bro.
I'm trying to say thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this.
Shout out to you. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you for being here, man. Much love
Thank
to
you,
my
cool.
brother. Thank you, brother. Always, man. Scoob, one of the original day ones. Much love to that, brother, man. You have a good dinner, man, as well. All right, KT, number 4, my friend. Who you got number 4 of KT's top 5 unknowns? Diamonds.
Diamonds, okay. Mm, mm, mm. I told you about Thornton. I put the other one in number 4 in the mock draft with Andrew Armstrong. The only reason I put him in because Thornton was off the board when we was picking. So we'll go. We'll bring it up again. Andrew Armstrong, wide receiver, Arkansas.
Hold on, KT. You can't double dip, bro. I'm gonna force you to come up with another one, brother.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I know you got a running back. I know you got a running back that you can brag on. That I know you sent me a bunch of them, so I know they got
Phil,
one. Really
we gonna go with our boy Phil Maffa from Clemson. And they project him as a 7th round draft pick, and it's not because of anything he's done, Q. It's just because the running back class is so deep.
It is, bro. It really is, bro.
It's like me and you, like I told you that one time you were doing a show. This year's running back class is like going to a 5-star deli and getting any cut of steak you want. You want Wagyu, you want Kobe, you want New York strip, you want sirloin, you want prime rib. It's all there.
It really is, bro. They have some really good running backs in this draft, man. I mean, Genty and Omarion Hampton are kind of the guys you look at, but guys like Judkins,
Judkins,
Johnson,
Henderson,
Scatterbowl, Sampson, Neal, Gittin, DJ Giddens,
Ollie Gardner III.
Right. Ollie's in there. Martinez from Miami.
Yeah. Now
Smith from SMU. He's another one.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of them, bro.
Blue from Texas is another good one.
Yep, that's another one. Yep. It's a bunch of them.
The reason I went with Maffa is because, granted, he's a big physical back. Now, he may not be able to give you a big play burst, but this guy's a thumper. He'll get you some 15, 20 plus yards runs, but there's not enough speed for him to make a house call with it. He's
Right.
physical. He's a thumper, runs in between the tackle, good at pass protection. And for a big back, he catches extremely well out the backfield. Watch some Clemson tape. Watch that ACC championship against SMU. Watch the Texas Clemson game. For certain points of the season, he was Clemson's whole offense. This is a big, bruising running back.
Yeah.
This would be the perfect complement to a Kamara or a CEH or whatever small back we have. We have our thumper.
No injury concerns on Mafe, is it, KT? And I don't remember hearing anything about him having any injury issues either.
I
No
don't
durability
either.
concerns.
I don't as well. I just knew it wasn't. He didn't have long speed, and the running back class at Clemson was just that thick.
Mm-hmm.
Because
KT,
look at the measurables, Q.
Yeah.
There's
6'1",
no way
234.
there's no way a back that skilled at that size should be lagging around to the 7th round.
They got this man listed as a candidate for bottom of roster. They got him listed as a practice squad player, if not a 7th-round pick. They got him listed as a practice squad player or a college free agent. I mean, his numbers led team with 1,100 yards, over 1,100 rushing yards, 216 carries. He averaged over 5 yards per rush. He had 8 touchdowns last year and started all 14 games. He had 21 catches to go along with it. And he had about 5-yard average on his catch. So he rushed over 5 yards and had 5 yards when he caught the ball. So this guy's like a north-south power thumper back.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything about durability issues with Phil Malfa. So yeah, this is very interesting as well. So yeah, it's interesting. KT, pretty good, man.
Yeah.
And finally, who else you got, KT? Final pick, my brother, on the call.
I'm going to go to the O-line, and we didn't get a chance to touch on him. Anthony Belton, offensive tackle from North Carolina State.
Belton, yeah.
This is a big boy, 6'6", 330 plus pounds, has the athletic ability. It's just, he has all the athletic tools to play tackle. It's just the mental lapses and sometimes the bad footwork. He could easily be a dominant guard, but I would put him at tackle and give him a chance. He's a mauler in the run game.
Yeah, I got Belton on screen. Yeah.
They
got him listed as an average starter. They got him. He will eventually be an average starter. So, all right, they got him listed as a potential starter here. KT 5.26 on the 40. Yeah, 12 games, 11 starts at left tackle. Did not play in Teams Military Bowl. Lost East Carolina. But from 2019 to 2024, a lot of college years in that. KT Georgia Military Academy played 11 games. 2020, same schools did not play due to C-19. Kind of redshirted him that year. Came back in 21, played 2 games as a reserve. Played in 13 games, 8 starts at left tackle. 2023, third team All ACC, started 13 games at left tackle. And like I said, played 12 games, 11 starts at left tackle for Clemson this past season. So they got him as a 3rd-round projection. We need help on the offensive line, brother, especially in the running attack.
You don't think, and he hits the same profile as Mekhi Becton. Everybody was saying Mekhi Becton was a bust with the Jets, but when he got to the Eagles and Kellen Moore,
look what happened.
Became one of the best guards in football. Big 6'8", almost 350-pound guard, mauling people. You don't think Kellen Moore would like to have Kellen Moore wants a big physical offensive line where we can run the ball down your throat, and then when you're tired, just bomb you over the top.
Right. If you're going to have a rookie quarterback or an inexperienced quarterback on top of the team, that's the best bet to do, man. That's the best bet. You get you a strong offensive line to run the ball, KT, get your running backs together, and you run that ball and get into the play action. and get down. You see what I'm saying? And get that play action going. That's the best bet is to count on the running attack. Because even if Carr was playing, I would still do the same thing because he's not one of these guys where you can get him to situate your offense. He has to be put into the play action for you to have success on because he's really fundamentally erred. But outside of that, you would have to count on the running attack. Elvin Kamara. I don't know what Kendre Miller gives you, but if the Saints, based on that, what Kendre has given, he's not been very stable. The Saints offensive line hasn't been very stable either in terms of Cesar Ruiz. We talk about Cesar Ruiz, what he's doing, KT. We talk about McCoy accruing injuries. Will McCoy have another injury campaign like he did this upcoming season? I would really look at the Saints getting a viable. I know they brought back Clapp to be like probably the backup center or some stuff like that. I'm still not overly enthused about the backup offensive line positions. So Tyler Fuaga, I'm happy with McCoy, fortified with a backup to in case of injury. The left guard position is still very much in the air. Dylan Ruddance is here, competing with Nick Saldiveri. Right guard Cesar Ruiz to me is underwhelming. Trevor Penning coming into his fourth year with the team, played his first season. So it's some concerns on the offensive line, especially if you walk in the door if you're Kellen Moore, bro.
Q, like I said before, when Mickey Loomis is your GM.
Have you Pepto-Bismol ready, baby? Hold on, goddamn it, KT. Hold on now. Hold on. I've been waiting to tell you something.
Say it. Go ahead. I got the car. I will gas the car up.
Oh, hold on now. I'm not. You're not going to catch me at that grocery store like what happened the last time. I already told you I don't go to the grocery store anymore. God damn it! Hold on. I order my groceries now, and I'm not going to tell you what service it is. Hold on now. And then I got crafty. I got crafty on you. I have it ordered to my neighbors and then have them to bring it where I'm at. So you're not going to get online now. You're not going to get me again. You're not going to turn my basket over like that, guy. God damn it.
Well, Mickey, crazy. I hate to break it to you. I'm not the only one you done ticked off. I am going to leave you alone because Red Saint's still mad you stole his Cajun roast beef and his Kobe Jack cheese. He had a sandwich made. Yeah, baby. And I also told him you took his brisket out of his car too. So you ain't got to worry about me for the time being. Reb Saint,
baby, I'm
drive
coming
for DoorDash like I do, and Rouse Grocery. So you'll see one of us eventually.
That's right, baby. I'm going to get you, baby. Baby, I'm mad about that, baby. Baby, I can't find that anywhere no more, baby. Baby, they done took it out of the store, baby. Baby, I'm coming to get you. Hold on now. That's threatening people. Hold on. I'm going to have to call somebody about that. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all guys, hold on. You can't be mad at me. I got Kellen Moore here now.
Kellen Moore. Mickey, you don't mess with a man, family, money, or food. You stole my Cajun turkey.
That's right.
And you stole Rev St. Cajun roast beef and his brisket. He was ready to throw that on the grill.
KT, you got me hungry, brother. All that sound good, brother. Cajun turkey. Brother. I'm eating good tomorrow, bro. Hey, let me tell you.
After I get off the podcast with you, bro, I'm finna go I'm gonna marinate and I'm throwing some steaks on the grill tomorrow.
He done made himself hungry. Hey, listen, man.
I got 2 ribeyes in the deep freezer right now, waiting to get pulled out.
See that? That's what I'm talking about, man. Man, to tell you, KT throwing down, man. It's Easter, man. It's going down. But listen, KT, man, for the great Saint Think Tank, KT, the Super Scout, man, here dropping some game. KT, I appreciate you coming on the stream, my brother, and educating us on some of these prospects, man. I enjoyed the live mock. Enjoyed the prospects in the game, brother, and the draft coming up next week, man. So we'll see if some of these guys, bro, you done hipped us to. Hopefully the Saints have these guys on their radars too, bro.
We'll keep an eye on. Remember, for some strange reason, I'll give them some credit. We always hit on 1 or 2 UDFAs.
I know. Yeah.
You called it with your boy Mason Tipton last year.
Yeah. From Yale, yeah. They just gave up on Mason too early, bro. I mean, he looked really good early on, and then Clint Kubiak could not get him involved properly later on in the year, man. He had the bad drop that kind of messed with his confidence, man, a bit. Because after that happened, and you could see it kind of derail a bit. You could see the young player's confidence kind of drop after he dropped that wide open pass. That could have been a touchdown there.
Yeah, I think that was the Kansas City game.
I think it was, yeah. And after that, bro, he kind of he kind of fell off a little bit, and Clint Kubiak really didn't help him by putting him in these games. He kind of buried him on the depth chart and left him there, man. Didn't give him an opportunity. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Mason looks this year coming to it if he can rebound from a tough rookie season, man. So we'll see. But yeah, Mason tipped an incredibly productive player in college, and he got a lot of very fast. It's a lot of application. You just got to have the imagination involved in the offense, man. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, that'll be the good part of it too, KT. After the draft, the undrafted guys, man. You know, we hit it out the park with those guys. We do pretty good with that.
Yeah, and I'll have after the draft ends on Saturday, I'll be right in on the podcast with you.
Yes, sir.
And I just keep refreshing my screen. Hey, we got this guy, we got that guy, we got this guy, we got that guy.
Yeah, right after that final round, KT, we be looking like, man, let's see if they're gonna fall right in line, man. You know, right after that, you're gonna still hear all those names lining up that day going into that Sunday, bro. So yeah, we're gonna get all that list, bro. You get that list before Saturday end.
Tell the family how I got the nickname Resident Scout. I think it was UDFA's, and we were talking about Rashid Shaheed. You didn't know who old boy was.
Nope. KT put me about out of we are like, hey, who is it? KT said, Q, watch out for this kid Rashid Shaheed, man, from out of Weber State, was it? And I was
Weber
like,
State, the same school as Dane.
From Weber State. And he was like, man, he was breaking it down. He's like, Q, he reminds me. Didn't you say he reminds you of Deontay Harris?
I said he was a bigger version, a taller version of Deontay Harris, but he was way faster.
Way faster. He broke a lot of his records, though.
Yeah, you can see when Sheed runs, just the speed, and he never got time running the 40.
Dude, he's a blazer. He's the Saints' fastest player, I want to say right now. He's a fat boy. He takes off, and it's just, it don't even look like it, but the guy is like on another level in speed, and it's just having a quarterback that can deal with that, just being able to get the ball out to this guy. So it's going to be interesting, man, to see how this all goes. KT, once again, bro, thank you for being here, bro. I'm going to see you next week on the draft special, man. Appreciate you. Much love, my brother. Thank you.
All right, bro. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good night and happy Easter.
Same to you, my brother. Shout out to my dog, KT, man. Appreciate him for being in alive. Hope y'all, I knew y'all guys enjoyed that, man. That was pretty cool, man, having KT to come in and talk about and break down a little draft talk for us, man. As y'all guys know, we getting closer and closer to the draft, baby. That's coming up next week, matter of fact, and we will decide on after all these weeks and days about what is it going to be, who's going to be the person that's going to be the Saints' first round draft pick, all this kind of stuff, and weeks and months of talking about the draft. It all ends next week, fam, on Thursday. I think Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be the draft days. Yes, and then of course the schedule. Y'all guys know for some time I go live during the draft that Thursday night, that Friday, and that Saturday all day. We'll be here in dealing with the draft, and then that's after the draft is over with. You're gonna get the list, the updated list about the Saints undrafted guys, the free agent list, the practice squad players, or whoever you want the college free agents who make it out the draft. That the Saints are really good at that aspect of the draft. They find these undrafted talents. So Phil Maffa that KT was breaking down, he could be one of those running backs that's available in the undrafted side of things. We always seem to get those really good ones. We had the guy last year from, what was it, UL Lafayette? I forgot the brother name. Y'all put it in the chat. I don't think we should even got rid of him. We could have used him. Thank you, Tasha, for being a member for 51 months. Shout out to Tasha and my brother Sean. Y'all have a happy Resurrection Sunday. families. Thank you and appreciate you.
Say thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
Happy Resurrection Sunday. So shout out to you, Queen. Appreciate you. As always, showing support. Shout out to Scoob and Michael. Thank y'all for the super chats as well. And once again, I thank all you guys for joining me. Do me a service. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the notification bell. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the sub button. Sub up, lit them all up, light them all up. And also feel free to check the description section below. For Mint Mobile, Teach Hidley, and Bet Online, they got deals going on for Mint Mobile. Coming up for the holidays, Teach Hidley also has a special going on. And Bet Online is, of course, if you want to make a few extra dollars for Easter, man, Bet Online is the way to go. And also all these sponsors help the platform. Merch and all that stuff is available. The links in the description section and in the chat. So with that being said, man, so salute to you guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful and happy holiday weekend. Y'all guys be safe. And I'm going to holler at you on the Monday stream. Much love. Who Dat? Peace.
Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Say they gon' beat them, say who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them, say who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them, say who that?
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Bet Online continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. Bet Online has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet Online, the game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat too.